Guys, it is Andrea, and today I'm coming at you with a plan with me for the last week in my Erin Condren planner before I move into the cloud. And I had been for the last couple of weeks doing kind of like a sped up beginning part with music or whatever, and then talking through me actually planning. But this week I'm actually just going to be doing a voiceover for the whole plan with me, just because I honestly don't know why I decided that coming in on Sunday after all of the holiday festivities, and I had so much going on in my brain, coming in to work Sunday night and doing talking and planning was the greatest idea in the world. I even said it 6 times in the video. I was like, I don't know why I'm here doing this, because I just feel like I should be sleeping. But yeah, so I just sounded off, and I was just didn't sound thrilled. So I decided that I'm just gonna do, now that I'm rejuvenated, it is the first, and I had a chai or half of a chai. I feel good and ready to just talk through this plan with me sped up, and then I'll be back to the regular grind. Actually, my next plan with me, and I should be on track for the most part to have plan with me's up on Wednesday. I do have a couple of travels in the future, and I'm having a baby at the beginning of this year. Well, not beginning, but the first quarter of this year, the first third. So I'm sure there's going to be times where I'm going to have plan with me's up late, but I should be relatively on the right track with them. So next week I'll be planning in my cloud, and I'm so excited. I already put the base down, and I'm going to put my base down for the next week. Actually, I don't think I am, because I'm going to be in Disney the next week. I'm so tired, and I love Disney, but at the same time I'm just oh, I need a break. But I'm going with Jessica, and I'm definitely going to miss Bubba, but it's definitely going to be a nice little mommy break, because going to Disney with the kid is definitely different than going to Disney by yourself. Though being pregnant and going to Disney isn't I could just do the same rides, actually probably less rides than Bennett can do. So yeah, so that'll be a lot of planning though, so I probably won't do the base for that, which is sad, because I love putting the bases down in the cloud now. But you win some, you lose some. I did leave Wednesday a box open, because I was doing an extender, and I didn't want to not only have to finagle with writing on an extender, but writing on an extender on the coil. If you have an Erin Condren planner and you plan on a Wednesday, you know the struggles with that. But yeah, what was I saying about anything? I don't even know. But yeah, oh yeah, so next week I'll be planning in my cloud, and I'll be back to kind of talking through things. I'm actually going to be talking through the whole video, so not just the plans part, but also laying down my base, just because it's my first week in a new planner. So I wanted to kind of talk you guys through the whole dang thing. Well, you can see here I'm prepping my extender box just so that I have it on the side. I actually then flattened it so that it was easier to write on. For this spread, I did use Cuddle Season, Snuggle Season, and I used the Silver Twinkle, and then I used Rose Color Days date covers. I used, I think the rest of the foil is pretty much from my shop. We used some of the, some scripts. I used some Twinkle Everywhere, actually, and one of the quote boxes from the holiday sheets, some of the holiday bucket list scripts and things like that. Did I just do that? Oh, no, I put a overlay on it. But yeah, so I just kind of decorated her up. Like I said, this was the week of Christmas. It was definitely a very go, go, go week. And I feel does anybody else get the feeling when Christmas is over, you're where did that go? Christmas just passed? That's it? That was a lot of prep for it to be done already. So it was good overall. It was really cool, because I think last year Bubba opened presents, but this year he was more into it. We did a lot of present opening, I feel so I don't know. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the actual spread. So on Monday, I feel I'm all over the place. I had Kitten and Shush just texted me, and yeah, I was just reading it, and we're talking about gnomes. So on Monday, I put in that I had a bad dream. I've been having really bad nightmares. I actually didn't have one last night, even though I slept 8 hours. I had this theory that if I slept 6 hours, that I didn't have nightmares. They were bad dreams, but not as bad. But I was having real bad nightmares. I wake up panting and like sweating and like feeling like I could like die. So I had a bad, like probably one of the worst was I actually had the worst dream on Christmas Eve morning. But I didn't put it in because I just had so much other stuff to put in. But this one was probably like the second worst one. So I was probably just like, it was probably not only like hormones. Obviously I'm pregnant, that's like a thing. But it probably also was just like stress from the holidays, like on top of the hormones. And then I put babysit the trio because I did watch Reagan and Avery and also Bennett so that Brian, Nick, and Kirsten could go see Star Wars. And then I did take a nap with Bubba after that because watching 3 kids was definitely a treat. Yeah, it was just like Bennett and Avery were just arguing about stuff the whole time. And then Reagan was crying unless I had a puff in her mouth, like with those little like puff treat thingies, like cereals. And it was just like, they were just all not having me. And by the time that like the movie was over, it's like a longer one, they all were like calming down and like getting used to each other. But then like obviously like they left and we're just gonna start all over again next time that there's a trio babysitting committee time. Then I put in that I watched 90 Day Fiance, and then I watched Marriage Story after, and I like cried my eyes out, and it was just like it was real feels. Probably also like part of my bad dream on Tuesday, but like not really because I feel like I'm more related to my Monday dream. I don't know, but it was like super sad. I liked it a lot. I've liked Adam Driver for forever, and I just think he's like different in like the way that he acts. He reminds me of somebody, but I can't put my finger on it, like somebody who's older, but Scarlett Johansson I don't really care about. But I really liked it. I don't know if like everyone would like it because I told Nick, like I was like, hey, do you want to watch this with me? Because I wanted to watch it since like the trailers came out, and he's like, no, I don't really want to watch it. And then like about like 40 minutes in, I was like, yeah, you wouldn't have liked this. But I was like into it, and then he came downstairs and he's like, are you crying? And I'm like, don't touch me. And then afterwards I had to top it off with Fuller House, which also made me cry. So I was just like double whammy of like feels. I was like, I'll watch Fuller House because it'll put me in my like good spirits. And then nope, didn't happen. The next day was Christmas Eve and we decided to get IHOP for breakfast. Normally we just get like Holy Bagel like a couple of times a week, which is just like really good bagels. But I decided that IHOP sounded good, and they had these like green pancakes, which we thought was a good idea. But like they were covered in like icing, which I thought was kind of gross, and Bennett didn't really enjoy those at all. He just wanted eggs. It's funny because like that's like what the kid like prefers for breakfast is eggs, like just plain old eggs. Actually, I think he prefers egg whites, but that's just my thoughts because I feel like he eats more egg whites. But whenever we make him regular eggs, he doesn't eat as much. But I don't know. So I ended up eating a lot of my eggs, most of my eggs, if not all of my eggs. Then I cleaned Bennett's room and we watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We actually watched The Grinch, like the animated one, twice, and then we watched the Jim Carrey one once. So we watched The Grinch 3 times technically. And then we made like a Christmas dinner. I was going to put that the next day, but like we also had like it was more of like a traditional Christmas dinner on Tuesday, and then we had like a faster ham dinner on Wednesday. It's not normally like how I do Christmas, but for this year, my heartburn's acting up, and I feel like it's because I'm talking about like how we normally do Christmas. For this year, it works. And then Bennett opened all of his presents from my in-laws because we figured it would just be too much on Christmas morning, which was totally correct. He got about halfway through on Christmas, and I think that he maybe had like a total of like 10 things to open on Christmas, maybe 11 presents to open, and he got about halfway and was like pretty done. So we just like kind of waited a little and then opened the rest later. So he did my in-laws presents that day. They got him a lot of like the Melissa and Doug wooden food toys, which honestly like Bennett plays with his food toys 90% of the time, and then the rest of the time like he plays with his Legos or his books or cars. That's pretty much about it. He plays with his food toys like almost all the time. It's funny because today he was walking around with his little grocery bag. It's like a little like, it was in the Target dollar spot. It's like a little like felt brown grocery bag. And he put a bunch of different food in it, and then he like looked at the broccoli and went, ew, broccoli, yucky, and he threw it on the floor. And then Nick picked it up and was like, oh, Bennett, like put this in your bag, and he put it in Bennett's bag, and Bennett like wrote it down. He's like, broccoli is yucky, and I'm like, broccoli's good, bro, like you're gonna like it when you're older. But it was just funny because he like has so many opinions now. It's like ridiculous. Like this kid, and I'm like, you don't even know, Bennett. Like you don't know if you like broccoli or not. You probably do. He ate cauliflower at school the other day, so I don't even know. Like most kids, I don't think think would prefer broccoli than cauliflower, but like I don't know anything apparently. Then we watched Elf and To Grandmother's House We Go. I think actually we watched Elf and then Bennett went to bed and then me and Nick's parents watched To Grandmother's House We Go. Then on Wednesday, we opened all the presents in the morning, and then I cuddled with Nick while Nick's dad set up all of Bennett's like toys that needed like some kind of assembly. They also set up Bennett's toy kitchen on Tuesday, but I totally didn't put that in there, but that was definitely a experience. Bennett loves tools. Like whenever they were putting together his play gym outside, we had to keep him away, and because all he wants to do is run around with screwdrivers and hammers and stuff. Like, he's obsessed. He wants to help, which is cute, but, like, dangerous outside, especially because the ground is, like, not level. Then I put in Holiday Movie Marathon, which I'm doing right now with this, like, extender thing. I don't really like that I used the flags, but it just kind of, like, worked the best. But we watched Muppets Christmas Carol and Noel. Muppets Christmas Carol is obviously kind of more like a classic. It's a little creepy the more that you, like, think about it. And then I watched Noel because Jessica said it was good. I was also going to watch it just in general. We just hadn't got around to it. And it was definitely very cheesy. I feel like I've been watching a lot of things and being like, okay. Like, I watched You recently, like the second season. I like knew after the first season was over and they announced the second season, I was like, this is going to be god awful. But it was bad, but I think it was because of how predictable it was. And I'm not going to spoiler it, obviously, but I just feel like I feel like they linger on things for too long. Even like Pretty Little Liars, I feel like there'd be parts that are referenced in the past and you'd be like, oh, I didn't really notice that, because they don't like linger on things. But I feel like in You, they like linger on random things, and then you know that they're going to come up later, so you have it all like figured out, because I like sit there and I remember the 12 random things that they lingered on, and I'm like, oh, well, that's this and that's that and that's that, and then by the time that they tell me, I'm like, yeah, pretty much laid that out for us there. So I feel like I'm not going to watch season 3 just because, I don't know, I can't imagine myself like being like, oh my god, didn't predict that. But it was something to pass the time. I watched it while doing rack bags, most of it, and then I watched the last 2, I think, episodes at home just because I wanted to pay it more attention. But I was like, and then I like told Nick that Too Long Didn't Read, and he's like, that's like one of the cringiest things I've ever heard. And I was like, yeah. But it got like good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm like, maybe it's just me who didn't like it. I don't know. I'm waiting for Kirsten to like give me her opinion on it because she didn't finish it yet, so we will see what she thinks. Then we watched all the Yule logs. We watched like the one on Netflix that's like 4K. We watched the Linus Tech Tips one. We watched the Arendelle Frozen one. We watched all of them. We exchanged gifts with the Krasinskis and took some holiday photos, which Bennett was not about. Maybe next year he'll be more into it, but then I'll have another baby who's not into it. Then we had a little game night, and I put Christmas Day at the bottom just to kind of do it that way. Then on Thursday, I put in that I was super duper tired, because I was super duper tired. I feel like that was just kind of a theme this week. I don't know if it was holidays or kind of like almost getting towards the third trimester kind of deal. I should probably plug in my laptop because it's at 11%. You know how these electronics, they tell you, oh yeah, you're at 80% forever, and then you're at 11%, and then before you know it, your computer's dead, and you're like, how exactly did that happen? I don't even really know. Then I went over to work. I think I printed labels this day, possibly. I don't even know. I feel like that's probably what it was. And then I wanted to mention I wanted to use a lot of holiday stickers this year. I realize I don't actually use that many holiday stickers. Jessica just texted me. What did she say? What's a new year? Yes. I sent her a picture of Bennett like laying in bed on his iPad, and Bennett is the epitome of New Year's, same me. So then we went shopping. Bennett was in school this day, so we decided just to kind of go out. We went to IKEA. I don't remember what we needed. Oh, we needed bins for work, and I wanted bins for Bennett's kitchen, and we got a couple other random things. And then we went to Five Below, and I got one thing of kinetic sand and one thing of Fun Dip that is actually still in my car. And then we went to Target because I just wanted to look around, and we ended up getting, I think we needed water at home, like bottled water, and then I got some stuff from the Hearth and Hand or whatever what are their names are? Chip and Joanna. They like every year they come out with these really beautiful wooden toy sets, and you never buy them whenever they're not on sale, because every year for the past 2 years, I think that's the only time they've done it in the past 2 years, Every single set that they do is available on clearance for 50% off the day after Christmas. I have seen all of them at multiple locations, and they're beautiful. Like for wooden toys, like I got a wooden train, and I'm going to save that next year for baby number 2's present. And then I got the farm, which I wanted for Bennett, and I actually got the dollhouse last year, and I was gonna give it to Bennett because it's still like way cool. Obviously, I really don't care what my kids play with, but I actually I sent that with Nick's parents home to Pennsylvania to give to Bree's baby because they came out with the farm this year, and I was like, Bubba will love the farm. And then Nick also picked him out, I think the tree house, because that was also on 50% off, and I was like, he doesn't really need it. And like, if Nick picked out a present though, like that's kind of rare, so he wanted to give him that next year too. So 50% off though for wooden stuff. The regular price is like a little on the high side, but like 50% off is like pretty good. I always pick up like decorations and stuff on 50% off because like, why not? Then I cleaned up Bennett's toys, and then I went to work later on at night and made rack bags. On Friday, Nick and I woke up pretty early and went to the San Francisco Bakery, which is just like a bakery in Austin that Nick's been wanting to go to. And then we went to Walmart and Target again, just to like walk around and peruse like clearance. I ended up getting these like bath bomb sets for Bennett and Avery that were like 10 bath bombs, and they were 50% off, so they're $5. So that was like a really good deal. And then I got Avery a couple, they weren't like on clearance, but I wanted to finish up her like birthday present. So I got her 2 more Barbies to add to like her little stash. I got her like the National Geographic Barbies, which was like a safari one, and then, or like a zoologist. I don't really know. It looked like safari to me. And then like a telescope one. I don't know, really like an astrologist possibly. I don't know. And then I put in that I was in so much pain. Whenever I got home, we watched actually one episode of The Dark Crystal, which we're still working on, and I'm annoyed about it. We'll probably finish it sometime next year. Actually, it is next year. Probably the next year. Actually, 2021 is when we're going to finish The Dark Crystal. And it's sad because like I want to watch it. And Nick's always like, I'm not in the mood. And I'm like, I hate you. But I was in so much pain during that episode that I was like, afterwards, I was like, I need to go like die because like of the pelvic pain. It was like really, 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 really bad this day. So much that I was like literally like, I just felt like curling up in a ball and dying. Then I took a nap, which kind of relieved that a little bit. Like just like laying in a specific position helps. Also like there's other positions that help that like are just like, you just gotta do what you gotta do, and it hurts so bad, guys. I feel like a lot of you people who've had kids probably have felt the same, like you feel like it's just like the baby's just gonna pop out at any moment. TMI, but you know, that's what we do. And then I put in family cuddles, and then I started a new project this day. On Saturday, I put in family time, and then Nick and I discussed the future, kind of like making like big decisions this year, I think. And then we went to Grand Lux for dinner, and I went over to work and did more rack bags. I put in that I was super annoyed in the evening. It was actually like till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then Sunday, I put in so tired. I love these Christmas burnout stickers. They're so my life. I designed in the morning because Goodness just came out with new art. It took me actually forever. I don't remember why, but I worked on it like from like the time I woke up till after Bennett took a nap. And then, well, like mid Bennett nap. And then I put in that I went to work and did a bunch of rack bags, and I put in cuddle time, TV with Nick, and then I put in that I went to work and filmed. On my sidebar, I put in that I was 23 weeks, and then I put in spread holiday cheer because I thought that was funny with that like girl dying with the presents on top of her. So that is everything for this week. I feel like if this voiceover is actually better than the talk through was, so you can only imagine how bad the talk through was. But I hope you guys like this video, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Bye. Actually, just kidding. I remember at the end of this, I was like, do I cut this out? But I did like quickly flip through, like just do like a little fan through of my like spreads, because this was like the last one in this planner. I also ordered a new planner cover. I ordered the like metallic rainbow one, and it's only metallic rainbow on the back, so I ordered 2 of them. I'm just gonna like flip one upside down because I thought the rainbow was really cute. So I finally decided on that, but this is the end of my Erin Condren planner, and I won't be using an Erin Condren next year, which is totally wild, but I hope you guys like this video. Bye!